Welcome back to the Anchor Down Podcast, Season 2, Episode 11. I'm your host, Ian Larrabee.
And I'm Carter Collins.
This week we've got kind of a lot going on. The start of winter sports are really getting going, other than, I think, skiing's the last thing to start up. And
especially with this lack of snow, who knows when they're going to start up.
But Giants Ridge did open this past weekend, was the first weekend of Giants Ridge, which I heard it was a week later than it usually is. Once again, probably because all that snow was made there because it just not snowing this year. But yeah, so recapping the boys basketball had a game against Cloquet. What day was that? Last Thursday. Pretty close game. They lost by 6 points. So not a nice start to your season, right? Because that was their
opener.
First game.
They played back and forth though. They had the lead quite a few times. It was good to see for the starter. It's a young team.
It's a really young team.
I think out of the starters, I think only like 3 guys that are even playing are like seniors, really. And a lot of them are a lot of freshmen in there and everything else. So they'll figure it out.
Yeah, no. Sometimes those young teams. Well, I know even the boys hockey teams like that too. It's a young team. Where you kind of it's going to take a year or two to really get guys to start moving along and grooving with each other. But, overall, not bad. Losing by a little bit, but there's a lot of room for improvement this year, and there's a lot of games left to keep going.
27 to go. So
27 games in the season, really.
28 games total, yeah. So they got time to figure it out.
It's a lot, yeah.
And then hockey also had a big win over Mankato East. They won 4-2, and on the little Instagram page that they have, they do a player of the week, and they give him the hard hat and kind of take a photo for him. And it was Aiden Jerkovich that received it this past week. He had 1 goal and was a big contributor in the win there. So congrats to him and the whole hockey team. They're 3-3 now.
3-3.
Yep.
Yeah, they have been doing all right. Like you said, they're a young team. They've been scoring a good bit though. I think some young kids. Like I saw some sophomores getting a bunch of goals and assists, which is cool. Nice to build up those young kids early, give them a couple years of time. There was also a girls hockey game Monday night on the 4th against Duluth Marshall. It was a big game. They lost 7-2. I heard that Marshall scored 5 goals in the first period, and then scored 2 goals in the second. Hibbing scored their 2 in the second, and then nobody scored in the third. So that's kind of an interesting game, but a lot of points there. But Marshall's a solid team. They got a lot of good girls on that team playing, a lot of talented people. But girls team, they're doing pretty well. I'm not sure what their record is exactly right now, but they're doing all right. Even they're a young team, I think too.
They are too. Yeah.
They lost a few seniors.
Young teams around here.
Yeah, just trying to build up. What are you gonna do? Just build up.
And cover tonight's game about
this Saturday as well. Saturday the 2nd, there was the first wrestling meet of the year. It was a wrestling tournament in why can't I think of where it was?
Wasn't it
Boston. There we go. I was there and I forgot. I wasn't even the one that got the concussion. That was Cooper. Oh no. So we had first wrestling tournament of the year. It went all right. We've got a lot of young kids as well. I took first place there. We had a couple kids take 5th or 6th place. Cooper Hendrickson, sadly, he got injured a little bit during one of his matches. You hate to see it, so he couldn't finish out the tournament. But now he's going to try and recover and get back better for he probably won't wrestle this week. I don't think. We've got a meet tonight, and then we have a meet Saturday. But I don't think he'll be wrestling until next week, probably.
Well, we wish him well and get him back up. He's a big part of that team, I know.
Yeah, definitely. He's the one of 2 seniors on the team. Him and Alex Henderson, they're the only 2 seniors on the team, which, again, just like so many young kids. I don't know why there's not a lot of older guys right now.
And then the hockey for the boys, they have a game tonight against Denfeld. We are 3-3. Denfeld sitting at 2-1, and this is going to be a big game pregame because it's going to be the retirement of Adam Johnson's jersey number 7. I believe that starts at 6:45. To do that, there's going to be a nice ceremony to kind of just again honor his life and celebrate
Right.
his life and everything. So
Yeah, definitely. I would have liked to have been able to go, but as I said too, tonight we're wrestling down in Aiken as a duel. But yeah, retiring that number 7 for the boys team, kind of a big thing. You know, I mean, Adam Johnson was a big part of that Hibbing hockey team back when he was playing. I mean, they did a lot with him, so I think it's a really good way to kind of, you know, just show appreciation and respect to retire that. But yeah, obviously, you know, this will be coming out after that game, but everyone that's there, you know, hopefully it's a good time and can cheer on, and then hopefully Hibbing can get that W afterwards as well.
especially when nobody likes Stenfeld.
No,
They're just,
all those Duluth
yeah,
teams. I
all
don't
those
like any of
Duluth
those Duluth
No,
teams,
I
man.
just hate playing them. Like they're
Yeah.
just,
Yeah, they got like, you know, 5 schools down there, and they're just whatever. But yeah, so that will be tonight. There's boys hockey and wrestling, and then on Thursday, the boys basketball team, they are playing against Superior. It's a away game.
that one's home.
But that one is the home
Thursday's
game.
home.
That's right.
Yep.
It was supposed to be. Yeah, the schedule got a little messed up. But yeah,
There's been a lot of rescheduling issues
for
every sport.
But so that one's the home game. It's Thursday, the 7th here at Lincoln. It'll start at 7. The varsity will start at 7:15, and against Superior, and then Friday, the next day, they're away at North Branch.
Yep.
So, you know, a couple games right away here, back to back. Once again, you know, just kind of hoping they can get that team flowing a little bit better, and they can maybe pull off some wins here. So that'll be neat to see. I'll probably be there Thursday, honestly, go watch them.
I'll probably make sure to stop in and see if we can't get a few dunks. I just want to see someone. One of them.
There's a
little
couple
freshmen.
tall- there's
yeah,
a couple
they
tall
got
kids
some.
over
Yeah,
there.
even in like morning weight room, there's a couple basketball guys in there.
Oh, yeah?
They always talk about how they're gonna squat a little heavy so that they can hit that rim in pregame warm-ups. So we'll see if they can hold true to it.
That's intimidating, you know, you're doing pregame warm-ups, and then you try in the game, and you just, like, completely fail it.
Oh,
Yeah. Basketball's an interesting one. You know, I don't watch too much basketball. I watch Jerry play a lot because of Mr. Carson Brown.
Mm-hmm.
But I was watching the other night Jerry playing in Noah Sundquist. There was a kid from the other team. He's like went up to go shoot the ball, and that kid just jumped and slammed the ball down away from him and like just murdered the kid. I'm like, golly, that's what makes basketball fun. Like that's what I want to see the whole time. Not you guys just running up the court. Or
missing three-pointer.
yeah, taking threes. I'm like, where's that going? Oh well.
And then girls basketball, they did lose their week 1 game against Grand Rapids, but they have a chance to make it up. They play Duluth Marshall at 7:15. So
What day is that?
tonight.
Tonight.
Yep,
Gotcha.
they're away at Marshall. So
Away, yeah. Again, another Duluth
Duluth
team.
man.
Hopefully they can pull off that win tonight. That'll be pretty cool for them. Yeah, you know, everyone's starting their seasons off. Everyone's like team sports, especially. You're really still trying to just work together. With, you know, you got the younger kids coming up. Kind of older people are probably taking some different positions, even a little bit, and just trying to make everything flow and fit this year. But yeah, so the girls playing that, and then we have the boys wrestling, or yeah, I think the girls are there too, wrestling this weekend on Saturday against, or it's a tournament in Delano. It starts at around 10 a.m. It's a good tournament for us, you know, another decent one to get kids going at. Hopefully it goes better than this past weekend. This past weekend, tell you what, I was sitting in the school gym for 12 hours almost. 12 hours trying to wrestle. Everything took so much longer than it should have, and then like the program we used to like run the tournament on crashed, you know, so for like an hour we just sat there doing nothing because nobody could do anything. So stuff like that, you know, it's just like maybe I should have stayed home. Yeah. Yeah, so girls basketball tonight, and then I think they play Saturday as well. They play Saturday. It said it's at Cloquet, but they play Superior.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if it's a tournament maybe that they're playing or how that works, but they play Saturday as well away. So a couple more games this week, try and get some wins.
Yep, boys swimming also and diving. They have relays on Thursday. I would assume right around 7. There wasn't a time listed from where I saw. But
Yeah.
So good luck to all the boys kicking their season off. That'll be their first
event.
meet. Yeah. So good luck to all of them.
Then recapping, we had a band concert. Christmas or winter band concert was Monday the 4th here. It was the 7th through 12th grade band. So there's a 7th grade band, 8th grade band, 9th grade, and then the 10th through 12th is the concert band. And it went, overall, I think it went pretty well. It was the 9th graders. I'm not sure. I didn't end up listening to it, but I talked to some people. The 9th graders had this really interesting piece where they had like Mallory Sikora was like reading a poem while they were playing, and they were like interactive with it. It was super interesting. So that was pretty cool, doing some different things like that for the concerts. And then us for concert band, we had a couple songs, 3 songs we did. They all went pretty solidly. Couple solos in them, I like Christmas music. It makes you feel kind of good inside.
It does.
It's kind of magical.
Other upcoming things kind of around. There's a choir concert in about 2 weeks from now. We don't have
2 weeks on Monday.
Yep,
so whatever the date that is.
That'll be their Christmas concert. So got a little time there. And then the annual Yuletide Festival at the library is 3 p.m. on Thursday, December 7th.
Yeah. Not entirely too sure about what all will go on, but I think there's going to be some games, activities, like Santa Claus will be there. Stuff like that. So, Thursday, it'll be right after school for some people, or, just the afternoon there, 3 p.m. starting up. And then there's the next meeting for the planning of the Hibbing High School 100th year anniversary celebration. It's going to be on December 12th, Tuesday, December 12th, starting at 5 p.m. at the library. And that is going to be, maybe the 3rd or 4th meeting now. And once again, just going to be people getting together, figuring out plans and ideas for what to do for the celebration. I know they're really looking at doing just a whole week filled with whatever and everything. So that'll be pretty neat to see.
Yeah, and then into other news, some Minnesota sports, man. Those Wild. 3-0 since that coaching change.
Yeah.
And they sit at 8-10-4. They play the Flames, who are 10-11-3 tonight on the 5th at 8 p.m. So see if they can keep that rolling. Sometimes all it takes is a little coaching change, and you can turn something around. So
right. Yeah. Started off that season not doing so hot. But then they've had a few wins. Their last one was on this past Saturday, the 2nd. They beat the Blackhawks, Chicago 4-1. So pretty big win, but I think Chicago's they're last. They're last in the conference or division, whatever. But Wild they're struggling, but maybe this new coach is what they needed. Maybe this is gonna help them kind of be on the up and up here. So that'll be cool to see.
And then them Timberwolves, they're rolling. They rolled past the Hornets 123-117. They're 15-4. And they got the Spurs, who are 3-16. So,
jeez, the Spurs, yeah, they've just been doing good. They're the first right now in the Western Conference, and I think the record is better than the Boston Celtics as well, who are in the Eastern leading. But they're just doing well. I don't know what it is. Everyone's kind of playing good this year together. And it's kind of strange because I couldn't tell you the last time the Timberwolves started off the season like this well. But basketball seasons are so long.
Yeah, anything can happen. But
right.
And it's just like this feels like a game that a Minnesota team would lose. Like they beat all these high level teams and then they lose to a 3-win team. Like that just seems like a Minnesota thing. So
yeah.
We'll hope not, but
right. But they play so many games in a year, and they have so much of the season left. So it's hard to say what exactly it'll all end up as. But starting off strong, that's all you can really ask is just kind of keep pushing through with that. It'd be pretty neat to see.
And then them Vikings, we'll have to see what happens coming off their bye. It sounds like they're gonna roll with Josh Dobbs. So.
Yeah. Came off had that. 12-10 loss against the Chicago Bears, and that was a terrible game to watch.
That was just awful. That
horrendous.
Was one where it just right when you thought it couldn't get worse, like it just kept getting worse. Like after the third interception, I think I was like, all right, well he topped out at 3, like and then the fourth one's like,
yeah. Then they had a bye right afterwards. Maybe that bye week is what they needed to kind of get everyone back into shape of like fix it up, and they play Vegas.
They're still in the playoffs. They're at the 6th seed, so
right.
Packers
They're second in the division right now. NFC North. They're second right now, but Packers, after just coming off a win against the Chiefs, they're looking to maybe take that spot back. They're climbing. There's still plenty of time, and they play the Vikings and Packers play.
I think 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, 3. I think it's 3.
Yep. It's Raiders, Bengals, and Packers.
And then and there might even be 4. They play the Lions first.
They
play the Lions first. Yep. And the Packers already beat the Lions. The Vikings haven't played them yet. They play them the last couple weeks. Yeah, they're playing them twice.
That game in Minnesota though will be a big game for the Packers. That'll
it's on New Year's Eve.
That's what
it is. It's that New Year's Eve game because the Vikings they play Detroit on Christmas Eve and then Packers on New Year's Eve. I was looking at tickets. They are so expensive for that Packers game. You're paying like $300+ for nosebleeds in that game.
I can imagine.
Yeah. But
that'll be a big game because we hold the tiebreaker on them.
Right.
So I mean.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how the Vikings kind of start ending up their season. Packers, they're looking, but there's some questions. There's a little bit of controversy in that Chiefs game.
That was there was missed calls both ways. So you can't.
There was, right? That's the biggest thing is that there 100% it was some DPIs, a little bit of pass interference towards the end,
but also not a late hit on Mahomes.
But it wasn't a late hit, and there was some other poor calls. And then you had Isaiah Pacheco get booted out of the game for throwing fists.
But I just hate the Packers, so it's their fault. They're cheating. That's all I gotta say.
I don't know. I've got a buddy who's a big Chiefs fan, loves Chiefs, loves Patrick Mahomes, and he was like, "Yeah, how do you think that's gonna go down tonight? Packers are getting whooped." I'm like, "No, man, I'm telling you, Packers are gonna win it. Packers are gonna win it." And all game, him and I are texting, and I'm like, "I told you. It felt so good." Yeah, NFL. It's a weird year. It's just a weird year this year.
It is. There's just the injuries too. Like Jake Browning for the Bengals
so
goes off, and now Trevor Lawrence is hurt. He's got that ankle.
Yeah. The 49ers just whooped the Eagles this past week.
That was a needed game though. Those Eagles fans, man, they're just something else. Those Eagles too. They were too full of themselves, I think. And
I really dislike the Eagles. I love some of their players. They've got some really, really talented guys, but I just can't get over how much I dislike them. I just can't get over it. That is just
one team I just want to see lose. Like
always, every game I just want them to lose. And the 49ers,
they're rolling.
Murdered them, man. And I've been saying this. I said 49ers to the Super Bowl this year.
I think they got it. Just it's like who can the Vikings did beat them now. But they were on just a 3-game low streak. Yeah. And I just think that I don't know who can stop them if they're playing like that.
True.
That was a lights-out perfect game.
Right.
So I don't know.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. There has been a lot of injuries. Even in that game, Jalen Hurts was out for a potential concussion for a little bit. He went back to the locker room, I think, got examined, but he was okay to come back.
And now Derek Carr left with a concussion. Kenny Pickett's got
a broken ankle. I think he had surgery the other day. Tank Dell broke his leg.
It's just constant
out for the
injuries.
season. The Brian Cook in that Chiefs game, he I'm not sure if he completely broke his ankle or something though, but I watched that. That was a bad one, got caught underneath him and just not good. Football's it's a rough sport though. There's a lot of things that happen.
And now those Jets, they're regretting their decision to bench Zach Wilson. They go and ask him to come back and play, and he turned them down. So
the Jets, they just honestly, can you forfeit the rest of the season or something?
Because now they activated Aaron Rodgers on his 21-day to return, so they have to activate him now within 21 days. So worst case, they'll just activate him and sit him, I guess, because why you throw him back out there? Season's over.
Season's over for them, right? There's not really. You kind of want to stay lower and maybe get a better draft, and
even if they went out, they can't make the playoffs. So why went out at that point?
Yeah. Yeah, so that's football, you know, it's kind of coming down towards the end of the season, but there's still a lot of possibilities left, a lot of playoff chances for teams that aren't in the race, that are in the race but aren't quite there yet, and teams that have spots that aren't completely secured.
Especially in that AFC, the Bills are even out of the playoffs right now. As the Broncos, Bills, and Texans are on the outs.
Bills are an overrated team.
They are definitely.
I think Bills
overrated.
are so overrated.
I do too.
I don't mind them. I don't mind them. You know, I like some of the players, and they're all right. But I just
don't think they're.
People say Josh Allen's all that, and he's not that.
They're not capable of going all the way this year.
No,
either.
definitely not in the AFC. I don't think they're going to be able to whoop.
And it's so weird seeing how loaded it is and then how unloaded the NFC is.
The NFC's crazy bad this
year. It's
year.
so weak.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, that's winter sports for us is getting really getting rolling. And then the others, you know, basketball and hockey are kind of moving up too professionally, and football's coming to an end there. Yeah, I think that's about all for this week. So we'll see you next week on Anchor Down.
For over 25 years, U.S. Bank, located at 211 East Howard Street in Hibbing, Minnesota, has provided office and studio space for Hibbing Public Access Television. We are thankful for their ongoing support.